Well, I guess this is season 2 of our Blended Journey podcast. My name is Tarris Horton, and I'm here with my wife,
Tammy Horton.
We're here in Gulf Shores, Alabama. It's our first time here in Gulf Shores.
I love it. We got a little spoiled with Vieques, but this is probably the second best choice.
Usually we go to South Carolina with friends, but probably I'll never want to go to South Carolina again.
It's absolutely beautiful here. And we're on our first family vacation.
So my sisters are here. We have my sister Angela, my sister Renee, my sister Michelle with us.
And Carl.
And Carl is here too. He's having a good time. We figured this would be a good time to debut our new season and talk about a few subjects, talk about some things that have been going on within our life since the last time we touched bases with you guys, and doing something different. You can see it with our podcast is a lot different than we're being in front of the computer, just going live. So what's the first topic for the day, hon?
I think we have several topics for this podcast. Yeah, we got a puppy last year, our journey with Carl and our 7 kids. Some of the things to talk about this season is that some of the ways we do our marriage is controversial, really talking about the feminine and the masculine, as well as still continuing on the politics. You know, we've lost some friends during this journey in this political season, and the grief of that and the grief of assumptions with politics.
Oh yeah, and I wanted to talk on how people, they perceive us and how I'm protective over you, or some certain things that I should be of what we do for a living, and then we put ourselves out there in a podcast like that. I'm overprotective, so those are some things that we want to talk about too in this episode of our Blended Journey podcast.
Was the overprotective part the also part of when we meet people, I really don't tell them what I do for a living?
Yeah,
because then you ended up getting dumped on.
Yeah.
And I still think, you know, the political climate and being an interracial couple, we should really share some information about that and our journey with that too, because we get looks still, and
it don't bother me. I'm never bothered by the looks anymore. I guess I've been getting them for so long, and I really feel like if somebody's looking at us in 2025 that way, then they're the one with the problem. We don't have. We're the ones like just chilling and living our lives, and hell, we're on the beach living a good life. We take our dog more places.
We do, and I think the journey of doing the mobile barbershop and the cleaning out the closet and Troy in his helmet all the time, and our other adventures that we're doing in business.
Been a pretty good journey so far this year. So stay tuned to our Blended Journey podcast, episode 1 of season 2. We're coming to you live from
Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Gulf Shores, Alabama. Stay tuned.
You lead, I follow.
So we were talking about the political climate and how we've had to navigate through that. We've lost some friends over politics because I'm a conservative Republican, but I'm teeter-tottering. I don't like the way some things I'm seeing in the Republican Party, so I'm allowed to pivot.
The political climate has been so toxic. I see it every day with clients and how they struggle with their family. And I guess I never thought it would hit this close to home to lose friends over assumptions for politics.
The friend that we lost was because of my political views, not yours. So I don't understand how someone could, get upset about another person's political views. But hey,
it wasn't so much political views; it was assumptions of someone that you like. So they assume something about you.
Candace Owens. It was about Candace Owens because
Yeah.
I've been a fan of Candace Owens. I still continue to be a fan of Candace Owens.
It's all about choosing marriage first and putting each other before everyone else. And sometimes we lose friendships as we go along that journey.
And I look at like whenever somebody wants to not be friends or not continue on a path with us, I don't care. She's more sensitive about it than I am, because I usually don't care. I'm like, good, it's one less person we got to worry about eventually stabbing us in the back. But I don't think that way about most people. I'm just generalizing.
Going through those couple of months of the grief of losing someone, it brought us stronger together.
Oh, for sure. Because I can't express enough. I don't care. I'm saying the most important things to me in my life are my wife, my family, and everything else seems to fall in place after that. So if somebody wants to encourage our relationships, and that's cool. If not, and they don't see, cool with that too.
Going into the topics of what's going on in the world, as far as what's going on in Cincinnati, which we can see right from our bedroom windows.
Yeah.
Talking about that climate, how that affects us.
I remember that day that I posted what I posted about it, and I was kind of reluctant to post it, but something was tugging on me to post my version of that fight. It's got over 500,000 views. One on TikTok's at 300,000. Over 1 million people have viewed our opinion on the situation and how it went down. And she's a white woman, so I understand things from a different perspective. Now I'm able to explain it to her and her family, because if not, the narrative, the Fox News narrative would have just taken off.
And I really honored the fact that you sat down at Dad's table and explained what was going on versus the version dad was getting on the news.
And then not even just the news is, like if you get into a certain type of echo chamber of friend group, even if I did, and I didn't have anybody on another side telling me a different perspective that could sway my opinions on things. So I mean that's a part of our Blended Journey podcast that a lot of people might not understand, and the dynamics of. I understand. I'm married to Pocahontas. I get it, but I have to be mindful in how I'm just not insensitive about my viewpoints on things, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You do, and I think it helps. I think we really balance each other and help each other understand things through a different lens. That is one of the positive things in our relationship, is that we listen. You listen to, okay, the guy is smoking a cigarette, teaching his kid how to play baseball. Your first thing was, look at him out there smoking a cigarette. And
yeah.
I go to, look at him out there teaching his kid how to play baseball.
Yeah, see, yes, I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit because that's a great analogy. We were out by our house. Adjacent to our house is a football field where the Dayton Ducks practice football. Before practice, this man was out there teaching his kid how to hold up the line. He was an offensive lineman, a bigger dude, but he had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And first thing I said, this dude out there hanging a cigarette out of his mouth. And then the first thing she said, well, at least he's out there with his son. And I'm like, you're right. And then earlier today, there's a couple that's right over here. There's a family that's right over here, and they were taking their sons and they were throwing their sons up in the air and catching them. And I've often used that analogy, like when it comes to men and raising boys. And when I talk to men, I'm like, have you ever been picked up and thrown in the air and caught by your dad? Because I need to know these things whenever I'm dealing with somebody as far as emotional intelligence goes. Because like there's a confidence that you get when you've been thrown in the air and caught by your father. I mean, it's just a confidence that you get. We seeing things from different lenses. It opens my perspective to things too.
I don't see that as building confidence. I see that as a kid's gonna be afraid of water one day, quite potentially.
See, that's a different perspective.
They're gonna be sitting on my couch in 30 years, being terrified of water or terrified of heights.
No.
So that's how our lenses is different. And even when we were going through the stage of the politics and things, I teach clients, like when you get on an airplane, you put the mask on yourself first before you help the person next to you. So taking that analogy into politics to help understand why people voted differently than you voted differently than me, is you got to put the mask on yourself first. And I honor that. And I had to put the mask on myself first according to what I voted for. So using that analogy has really, really helped other people understand. Instead of condemning someone, they have to put the mask on themselves first and vote for who they are and what they believe in.
I've had a lot of people tell me that they respect the fact that we're different political views and we can still function properly. I mean, because some people can't do it. Some people are kind of narrow-minded. They see things one way. I mean, I'm this close to changing my political affiliation. I'm just waiting to see the outcome of this whole racial thing that's going on with Cincinnati. Because right is right and wrong is wrong, no matter who you are, in my opinion. And that's one strong thing I like about our relationship, is that no matter what, you allow me to process things, and you're not like, oh, you voted for Donald Trump and you're this way.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the years that we've been together, I honestly can say we have never had a political fight.
No, we don't.
We've never shut each other down. We've never... I did get a little sick of hearing every time I said something negative, you would say it's all Joe Biden's fault.
Everything was Joe Biden's fault there for a little bit. I
got a little aggravated with that.
And it's close to being J.D. Vance here soon, but like saying for a while, she'd be like, honey, why this? I'd be like, Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden's fault. Everything was Joe Biden's fault for a while.
So I think that's what makes us a strong couple. That's one of the things that makes us a controversial couple.
I tell you, I'll say this on air too. The only time we've ever been in arguments is over these damn kids.
Absolutely. The only time we've ever had discord in our marriage has been over one of the seven, or all of the seven.
This one's taking advantage of this one, and this one's taking advantage of this one.
This one hurt you. And
that's something that we navigate through in our blended journey.
And I think the discord comes in times of high emotion when we're hurt by one of our kids. And so in that moment, when the other one comes in maybe with rationale or with a different opinion, our emotions are too high and we're not able to take our lens off and see it in the calming way.
And it's something that people might not understand, and I'm going to make it pretty clear right here. My wife and I, we still go to therapy. We still go to I mean, she's a therapist, so of course she's going to lean into that. I'm more of I hated going to marriage therapy. Our relationship was perfect until we started going to marriage counseling, I think. And then when we went to marriage counseling, that's whenever we got hit with some real life issues. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Cameron was graduating from high school. He had to make a decision which college he was going to.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him to go to UK. You know, like we had some real life decisions that we had to make.
We had a kid move back in with us.
Yeah, to go
Yeah.
to college. We had a kid move out. I mean, we had a lot
Yeah.
of stuff going on, but we were able to go through therapy and work things out. And even now, like if we have any kind of discord or anything like that, first thing we'll do is we'll schedule an appointment with our therapist and go try to like
Mm-hmm.
work things out with ourselves, because that's more important. We're really promoting long marriages. The divorce rate in the United States of America is out of control. And we've been a part of it. I've been
Oh,
divorced,
I've been
so
a
you know,
part
like
of
it's
it.
not. We are here to try to combat that in our blended journey, and to flex a little bit and to show off a little bit about what what you get when you live the right way. That's why I like doing this. I want to show. I mean, if you live the right way, I've been doing things the right way for about 8 years now, and finding you was like was a good thing. And then after that, things have been really going good. I looked around the other day. I was like, this is the life that I've always wanted right here. This is the life. Just be able to chill.
Yeah. This is the life I've always wanted to do. When I speak back on the therapy thing, I don't want anyone to be scared of, if they have a good marriage, not go to couples therapy. It was a benefit for us to go to couples therapy, because had not we realized those differences that early, they would have just elaborated and grown, and that possibly could have grown into resentment.
Yeah.
So I think it was healthy. The perfect marriage needs couples therapy. I honestly believe that, instead of waiting till a trauma happens or a crisis happens before you ever walk into couples therapy. That's much harder work.
And for fellas, I mean, I know it sounds a lot like to open up and go to therapy and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, it's tough. It's a tough thing to do. And half the time I'm in here like, this is bull. This is bull crap. All she has to do is just listen to what I say, and we wouldn't even be here.
Mm-hmm. True.
I mean, that's just my joking and my irrationality of things. But, you know, like it really helps to get another person's perspective, and then be able to articulate the way I'm trying to say something, and have our therapist dissect it from my words and present it in a different way.
And I think, too, there's controversy. Why does a therapist need a therapist? Also, every therapist needs a therapist. Just because I do this for a living doesn't mean I'm perfect, and I don't need help along the way. So I'm not ashamed that I sit in Linda's office every Thursday morning, except when we're on vacation, because that's the healthiest thing to do. I have to not only be healthy for myself, my marriage, my children, but I also need to be healthy for my clients. And if I don't have a space to unpack my triggers that happens behind closed doors with clients, then I'm going to be a hot mess, and our marriage is going to be a hot mess.
I'm glad you said that. You said marriage, children, clients. I mean, because before we both had a work-life balance, and I'm starting to trigger on that. You know, I'm starting to work more than I am with with the mobile barber bus. Hey, there's been times that I'm usually right next to you watching 90 Day Fiance, that I'm out there on the bus trying to get things right for the next phase of our lives. Whenever, like when we meet new people, I want to touch on this. When we meet new people, it's always weird for conversations and stuff. I just hope that with what you do as being a therapist, every time we meet somebody, I just wish that they wouldn't dump on you. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they meet you, they find out they're a therapist, they just want to throw all their problems on you. And I'm just like, we can't be friends with anybody like that.
Well, it's that one. And the other one is when people know that you're a therapist and they're trying to get back in school or get some certification. You know, they reach out and say, what are the steps? Look them up. I've never had, I had to look up those steps. And I think there's also this facade of what it's like being a therapist, that we just sit and listen all day. What's the big deal? But I don't think anyone understands the impact on our mental health and the impact on our body. So when people out there in the social media world see that you're a therapist, I want to be a life coach, or I want to go back to school to be a therapist. What are my steps? Figure it out. That's part of being a therapist, is problem solving.
And also with the barbering too, man. I got a friend of mine that's in barber school right now, and we talk to each other. You know, like I need to call him actually, and I'm encouraging him to finish it and do it. But go back to touching on when people ask me like, "Well, is your wife some kind of doctor?" And the first thing they say is, "Can she prescribe medicine?" Meds. And I'm like, oh my God. And then just the whole dumping part. So I'm starting to tell people, I mean, I'm trying to figure out a polite way to say, yeah, this is my wife, this is what she does. Like when we're trying to, hang out with people, but then when they start dumping, I quickly, I mean, like, are you paying for this session? That's my thing. I'm like, hey, are you paying for this? Is this a paid session, or is this a pro bono? Nothing worse.
That's the hard part, is because I personally, and I know you are too, I am so proud that I went back to school at 40 years old and I'm a successful therapist. I wish a lot of times I could be proud of that. And I know you want to be proud of your wife, but the minute, or they say, what kind of therapist, right? What kind? And then you say mental health. And then they say, can you prescribe meds?
Or then it's like, oh, well, I have somebody that needs this and this and this. And you're like, all right, it's just annoying. I just don't like that part of our blended journey, that I'm manifesting. This is something I'm manifesting, that we find a group of friends that ain't on no bullshit. You ain't trying to like life suck people. Of course, we're going to talk about
Life
each other's
problems.
lives and lives
Yeah.
and stuff. And we enjoy that. I mean, we got a great group of friends. I'm not saying anything about the one great group of friends that we do have.
We have beautiful friends.
And we love each last one of them. But it's like when we meet newer people, as we're putting ourselves out there more.
We're putting ourselves out there in the community because we just moved there.
Yeah.
So
if we want to, if my wife wants to give free therapy, we'll let you know. And if I want to give free haircuts, we'll let you know. And we do that. We do. We're very giving with our thing.
I have a sliding scale. I don't give free sessions. Let's preface that, and they have to be a client. I just don't sit on the corner and give free sessions. You know what else? Another topic for this year: KEP treatment.
Ketamine, yeah, with Dr. Weeks.
Dr. Weeks.
Shouts out to Dr. Weeks.
Absolutely.
And his family
One
and
of
the
our
new practice they have. Oh, they have the new practice.
It's his wife's practice. She's general practitioner.
And then he has his he's actually my weed doctor, but they do ketamine treatments as well. But he's my weed doctor. If people ever ask me how I got my medical card, I went to Dr. James Weeks at One Heart Medical, and he has an office in Ohio and an office in Kentucky.
Dr. Weeks and I started working together with ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, as far as I've had several clients interested in it, and I refer them to consult with him, and I've had several move forward with a ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, as well as I had my first ketamine-assisted psychotherapy session and plan to do another one in September. It was a beautiful journey. It was very enlightening, and seeing, I don't suggest clients to go do KEP. I have them call Dr. Weeks and they make that informed decision on their own. But to see how much their life has improved after a ketamine-assisted psychotherapy, I mean, Dr. Weeks' team is absolutely amazing. I'm really blessed to have great friends like them.
Yeah, Dr. Weeks is awesome. See, this is another thing about our Blended Journey podcast. I can't see myself doing KEP treatment. I don't think that, I can't see myself doing those journeys. And Dr. Weeks has asked me about it. My wife's even asked me about it. I just don't see. I'd rather do mushrooms, microdose mushrooms, or I'd even hit acid was my favorite drug I've ever done. It just got freaked out when Bobby Hurley started throwing cats at me whenever I was like 17. I double hitting acid. He threw a cat. I was freaked out. But
I've never done any psychedelics. So doing my ketamine journey was my first experience, and I have no desire to microdose shrooms or anything like that.
I mean, because I'd rather like go to Joshua Tree and take some shrooms or do some acid in a setting like right now, like if we were in Vieques, and we had the whole beach to ourselves and we didn't have to drive anywhere and we could just walk out to one of those private beaches that we were in Puerto Rico and trip balls and go swimming with sea turtles, and them sea turtles will probably be talking to you, dog. That'd be so fun.
Absolutely not.
That would be awesome. I think that would be a fun trip.
I'll watch you. But I will not participate.
I'd probably freak out. You probably call the boys. You'd be like, he's freaking out. He
wants to bring a turtle home.
He's talking to his hand. Oh, it's wild.
So I think that's one interesting journey, especially when I go back in September.
We're here in Gulf Shores, and we have my 3 sisters with us. We have
our
Renee,
first family affair.
Renee, my oldest sister, Angie, she's my middle sister, so it's Renee, Angie, Michelle, my youngest sister, and there'll be pictures popped up right here. Mm-hmm. And we all went to West Hardin High School. They graduated.
Not me, all of them.
All of us. We're West Hardin proud. My sisters, see, this is how, my sister was the first part of integrating schools back in the 70s in Kentucky. When she was a part of busing. That's how close our Blended Journey podcast is to, that was in the 70s, and what we are in 2025. It's really close to home.
And it's really been a very blessed journey to have this time with your sisters, because one lives in Nashville, so we don't get to see her that much. And then one lives in Leetown, and Lexington. We see one more than we see the other. So getting to have that generational women bonding, is it generational women bonding?
Yeah.
Having that time with them for the first time. And of course, they absolutely love and adore Carl.
And that's real. Look at this right here too. My wife, we and my wife both got my mom's signature, Horton signature on there. And as kids, it's my sisters who are Hortons get to pass on things like my sisters and my wife were cooking last night, cooking macaroni and cheese. And
I learned the famous macaroni and cheese recipe last night. And do you know it has some mustard in it?
I did not know
it has some mustard in it, yes. And I think to feel that love love from your family too.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
We all are here having a good time and enjoying the beach and enjoying the weathers.
And watching out for the jellyfish.
Oh, we got some jellyfish spray I'm
We
going to
got
put on.
jellyfish spray. You can buy that on Amazon, by the way. Jellyfish repellent.
So I want to say hi to all of our wonderful, wonderful kids. TJ and Maya in Henderson, Kentucky. They're about to have our first grandchild together that we get to be a part of their lives is TJ and Maya. They're a married couple in Henderson, Kentucky. And Trey.
I'm so excited.
Happy for Trey. Happy. We want to say give a shout out to Christian and his girlfriend
Katie.
Katie just took her bar exam and we're proud of her. We hope that she passes, man.
She did pass the exam. She's going to find out in October, and that girl passed the exam.
Bailey and Andrew, they've been through some tough times here this past year. They're still strong. They're still together. They're still happy.
Getting promoted at work.
Yeah, Bailey's got her dream job. And they're healthy. They're happy. Cameron's back into his, he's got 3 more semesters left until he graduates from Western. He gets to go into his junior year running track. Cass is entering his senior year at Moeller. So congratulations to him. And Troy, we see him
turned 16.
16. Troy turned 16 and Boston is doing his thing. So we just want to say hello to all our kids. And we love you all
and
so much.
Proud of you.
Proud of you, even no matter how far away you are from us, you know, like physically, like miles, or in your heart or in your mind or in your journey. We are always here. We're rock solid. We're not going anywhere. We're always going to have a heart and an ear for our children.
And I'm always here baking you cookies as we shed the tears.
Well, thanks for joining us on
our Blended Journey podcast.
And we're going to go enjoy some of this beach and our sisters. And
love you.
See you later.